Welcome to Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by SeoSamba. Comprehensive high-performing marketing solutions for mature and emerging franchise brands. To supercharge your franchise marketing, go to SeoSamba.com. That's SeoSamba.com.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Franchise Marketing Radio, and this is going to be a fun one. I have with me today Kelly Giard with Clean Air Lawn Care. Welcome, Kelly.
Yeah, hi there, Lee. Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about Clean Air Lawn Care. How are you serving folks?
Sure, yeah. We have three core services. Easy way to think about us is we're the Whole Foods of lawn care. You know, that's our approach, kind of our niche. And our three core services are solar-powered mowing. We use electric equipment, and then organic fertilizations as opposed to chemicals, and then organic weed control as opposed to, chemical weed control. So it's a healthy alternative for people that see value in that.
I would imagine in the crisis that we're having today that your business model hasn't been that much disrupted because your people can probably do what they have to do without social distancing is kind of built into what they do, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're not shaking hands at the door and meeting at the kitchen table anymore, but we can walk the property and be on the phone with the customer and also perform the service, pretty easily without having to violate the 6 foot distance. But one thing we've done with our employees is we stagger when they arrive to the shops. So they kind of have windows to get in and out of the shops by themselves. And then we have lowered the number of people in a truck to one. So a lot of our trucks were already set up that way, but now all of them are. But in terms of the customer, it's been pretty seamless. And we have had some certain state governments and local municipalities require some pretty rigid restrictions that have limited some of the stuff we typically do. But for the most part, we're operating as usual.
Tell us about kind of the backstory on Clean Air Lawn Care. How did you guys get started, and how do you move into franchising?
Yeah, sure. So I was a stockbroker. I live in Fort Collins, Colorado. I was a retail stockbroker, and I was just kind of bored with that, I guess. I essentially owned a franchise as a stockbroker with the Linsco Private Ledger. And so, I know what it's like to be a franchisee, and kind of what they were good at, and I saw their systems and what I liked and disliked. But I started messing around with this concept out of my garage in 2006, and it just kind of caught fire. The media picked up on it, customers loved it. It's kind of a sort of business idea once you see it. Why haven't we been doing this for a long time? And so I decided to sell my stock brokerage franchise and go full speed into this in 2008. And that's also the year that we franchised. So, we kind of tested it in 10 markets in 2007 across the United States. We put up 10 trucks and tested it. And then in 2008, we started selling franchises. And so we're 12 years in now, and we have about 70 territories now, and I think around 50 owners or so. So it's it's something that is catching on. It's become, when we started it, I describe it as, we had inferior equipment, we had skeptical customers, and so we had to have really, really good people. And, that's a great way to start out a service business and a franchise business, is just with really good people as your core culture.
Now, what's the profile of a franchisee? Is it somebody that's an owner-operator, or is it somebody who kind of is managing other people who are doing the labor?
We have both. Both are successful. It's pretty easy to get the owner-operator up and going. It takes more, I'd say, experience and talent by the franchise owner to figure out how to scale. Labor is definitely the area where the really good owners separate themselves from everybody else is managing their team and building their team. Our profile, is I call them, that's typically a guy. We have a lot of lawn care has a lot of males in it, and so we're typically seeing a white collar guy who's maybe spent 15 years in a corporate job or something like that and wants to be an entrepreneur. He's always thought of himself that way and has saved up some capital and might have a sustainability or organic slant to what sort of business he wants to get into. And then when he sees our model, he goes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. We'd like to find more women. It's just not an area that lawn care is very appealing to, I guess. So, but that's we call them white collar to green collar sort of profile, where they're going, okay, I'm an entrepreneur and I like this business model. It makes sense.
Now, is there an opportunity for the franchisee to start out maybe in one territory and then kind of build an empire around them in adjacent territories?
Yeah. We have our first. We had our first owner go over $1 million in revenue this last year, 2019. So, he has 3 territories, and he's in the Seattle market. He has, he started in 2008. He's one of our first owners. So the sky is the limit, really. There's a lot of good real estate in terms of the territories we can build out into. So the brand and the concept's at an exciting phase right now where we've established it and it's proven. And now, there's still a lot of real estate available.
Now, does it work better in kind of the where the weather is good year round, or can it work as a seasonal business?
It's we don't have anything in the state of North Dakota or Minneapolis or anything that's super short. We're in Jackson Hole and we're in Bend, Oregon. Those would be the shortest seasons we have, and we're successful there mostly because there's a high standard of living, so the pricing is high, and then those individuals have kind of snow careers too, so they have winter stuff they do at the ski resorts and stuff like that. So it's definitely an advantage to have the full season, in terms of revenue and just getting the most out of your capital. I think it's nice to take a break too. So we have Denver, Colorado owners, and I mean, I'm sitting here looking at 10 inches of snow out my window today. So it's nice to take a break and kind of use your brain, not just be out grinding away every day too.
Now, how much is on the local market franchisee to kind of, immerse themselves in the community and build those client bases? Is there stuff that is required of them to do, or is it, or do you help from a corporate standpoint?
We provide an individual website for each market, and so we've chosen to do that because we think it's appealing for that franchise owner and franchise owner group in that market. Gives them more of a local feel, and rewards them for building that brand locally. And then we focus heavily on what you were talking about at the entry of the show, the search engine optimization, where we're trying to own that search term for organic lawn care Seattle or organic lawn care Denver, whatever market we're in, and then build off of that. And so we give our owners that website that works really well with phones and all sorts of devices. It's quick, it's easy to flow, and then we push traffic to it with the search engine stuff, and then it's up to them to kind of throw fuel onto that fire with, pay-per-click advertising, events. Our trucks stand out. We do get a lot of customers from our trucks. We have solar panels on our trucks. And so it's a variety of marketing that really works well. Mostly for us, it's just about awareness. It's letting people know that they have a choice with, this alternative way of doing things. And then once they experience it, our customers are very sticky. I compare it to the smoking restaurant. Once, if you can remember when the smoking was, they got rid of smoking in restaurants, and then you got used to that, and then you went back into a restaurant that had smoke and you sat down to eat, you had a certain reaction to it. And that's what our service is similar to. Once they're used to the no pollution and the no chemicals, it's pretty hard to go back to the other direction. So.
Now, can you share a story? You mentioned one franchisee that just broke $1 million, but is there other stories that stand out, maybe that really transform their lives or their family, or maybe it's family run now or husband and wife, but something that stands out as somebody who was able to really kind of take this and run with it?
Yeah, we have a program where we have people that can come on as techs, as employees. And in this case, this guy was working for probably $10 an hour and then grow out, become manager and then eventually own their own franchise. We help them out with the franchise fee if they help the location they work at for hit certain goals. And so we have 3 owners, one in particular, Scott in Dallas, who he started off as a tech, and now he owns a very robust location in the Dallas market, and he has a much higher standard of living for his family. He's got a child now, and it's been really cool to see him go from an employee to an owner and change his entire family's lifestyle that way.
Now, when that happened, that's a great idea. I mean, I've been doing this franchise marketing show for a while, and that's pretty innovative thinking there. Does the franchise that he was with, are they mad they just lost a key employee, or is there something in it for them too that when that happens?
Yeah. Well, we set goals. We sit down and we say, it's me at the headquarters, and then it's the franchise owner, and then it's the employee, and we make goals for that location. And in his case, it was a 5-year plan. So what the franchise owner got out of that was a very committed, like an owner sort of committed employee for 5 years that he could, anchor his business around. And that kind of stability really accelerates the growth for the existing franchise owner. So that's what they get out of it is, having that trust and the person that's built in and bought in to their operation. And it makes a world of difference in our model to even have one person like that, that sets the tone and you can rely on.
Right. So you're giving them kind of a career path for their employees that they don't really have to fund beyond.
Right.
They get to have the experience of working there. They might lose a really good employee after 5 years, but they got 5 years of good work out of them.
That's exactly right. The other thing they get is typically the location they're going to open is going to be adjacent or nearby. And so they're getting a partner longer term that they can also grow that brand locally with. And in our situation, it's a common problem where we can't get to either because of distance or just demand, we can't get to all the customer requests. So, having that owner side by side really helps grow the market and also keeps the potential customer base happy. Some people don't like it when they can't get a service and they want it.
Right. Well, kudos for you. That is a brilliant kind of career path and a way to keep employees in a time where that's not as easy as it sounds. So, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We're internally trying to really expand that program. We give up that franchise fee revenue when we do it, but it really does pay off pretty quickly financially. So they hit the ground running when they start their business. They already know what they're doing. They tend to grow a lot faster than the owners that are coming in from a different, industry or field.
Now, how'd you land on 5 years as opposed to like 3 years, or how did that come about?
Well, that was determined by the franchise owner and the employee. So it could be anywhere from 2 to 5 years. I think 5 is kind of a maximum and 2's a minimum in terms of that commitment. we have, I think, 3 or 4 people that are on the track right now at various stages. So, you know, it's a great thing for the culture longer term, but, you know, some people, 5 years is just too long.
Right.
So, you know, getting them onto a 2-year sort of track with some aggressive growth goals, that works too.
Right. It's a win-win-win all the way around.
It is. Yeah. It's, you know, it just makes that franchise owner's life really easy when they have somebody that's performing at that level.
And that are bought in. I mean, they're obviously a believer. If they're thinking about doing it themselves, then they obviously believe and they're hungry to learn, and they're getting kind of practice on the one franchisee, knowing that that's going to launch them individually. So it's a brilliant idea. Congratulations. Yeah,
thank you.
Now, if somebody wants to learn more about the franchise, is there a website?
Yeah, sure. It's cleanairlawncare.com. And you can easily click into the franchise portion of the site once you get on the homepage there. And, you know, we have, we're getting a lot of inquiries right now because there's been so much displacement with people getting laid off and so forth. So I think over the Easter weekend, we had 25 to 30 inquiries for a new location. So it's a weird time. You know, there's a lot of negative stuff going on, but there's a lot of entrepreneurs being born too. And so that part's really exciting. And, you know, we're excited to be a part of their lives when they decide to do that.
Well, you started the venture during a rough time. So a lot of times the rough times birth a lot of innovative companies. Yeah, it does. And, you know, the grass just keeps coming up, Lee. You know, you can't stop it. That's right. So you either have to mow it yourself or have somebody else do it. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for sharing your story. Yeah. And remember, once again, cleanairlawncare.com is where to go if you want to learn more about this really innovative franchise that has opportunities around the country waiting for you. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, this is Lee Cantor. We will see you all next time on Franchise Marketing Radio.